Alright, so the patch details are here for the holiday season. 2 new uniforms coming, one for Magic, one for Magneto. This is going to be a rolling patch applying tonight, as you can see right here. So just convert this into your own time. In this video, we're going to be breaking down Magneto's uniform. Hopefully he is far better than he's ever been. I'm looking at the uniform bonus here, and it does look like they want to keep him as a rage character because they gave him critical damage, critical rate, and they gave him chain hit damage. So the only thing he's really missing here is, I would say, ignore dodge, but we'll analyze the rest of his build and see. But the thing is, he's getting tier 4, so ignore dodge, it doesn't really matter too much if you get him up to level 80 and tier 4 him. But keep in mind that Magneto's uniform is going to be $17.50. It is never going to be discounted, and it's only going to be available in the winter season. So keep that in mind. It's going to be one of those uniforms that come around once a year, unless something happens where the uniform is bugged, like it was for Black Bolt, and then they fixed it and then brought it back later. Expect this to only be available for 14 days, and then it's gone for a year. Okay, we're going to be doing a lot of testing with Magneto to see if this is worth it. I'm hoping that the power level once tier 4 is comparable to that of Black Bolt, hopefully, because Magneto is a very expensive character to attain, and then this uniform being very expensive as well might turn a lot of people off if he doesn't have big damage. Anyways, that being said, let's take a look at Magneto's skill breakdown. We have the new ultimate skill for him, which has burn, bleed, stun, paralysis, and defense down. Stacks up to 80%. That's actually kind of wild. He didn't have burn before, but he had bleed, stun, paralysis, and the defense down. 80% chance to penetrate. Interestingly enough, they gave him a 35% all attack buff here, as opposed to a single damage proc that he had for 50% additional attack. His leadership was also been increased by 5% from 45 to 50. They gave him a new 4-star passive with 20% energy attack, super armor, and basic defense, which is pretty good. This is way better than the snare ability that he had previously. So pretty much the only thing they did here for the tier 2 passive is they increased the skill damage and bonus damage. The skill damage is going up by 10% from 30 to 40, and the bonus damage is going up from 20 to 30%. So the first skill for Magneto has Sneer, second skill has Fracture, which is good for ABL, paralysis, which is good for ABX, burn, good for ABX, paralysis again, burn, invincibility here, silence. Okay, so Magneto is definitely going to be ABX meta. Well, to be honest, considering the fact that he's the only blast male super villain, he has to be ABX meta with tier 4 available to him. But he has every single effect that you need for ABX and a couple for ABL as well. So that's actually he's missing shock, but the fact that he has so many different effects is really good. Also, they made sure to include a 30% HP heal for him. Unfortunately, this is on a 20-second cooldown, which is kind of yikes. The damage accumulation is 1.5. It lasts for 10 seconds, so it's going to be up all the time. It's unfortunate the cooldown time is so long on this skill, but looking at his uniform effect, I figured they wanted him to stay as a rage character, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here. Moving on, we have Magic. We have chain hit damage on her, a 100% chance to increase her critical damage by 40% on critical attacks. Keep in mind that Magic's uniform is going to be paywalled, as they do with all of the females when it comes to these seasonal uniforms. So you're going to have to spend about 20 bucks to get tokens. They're going to give away 10 tokens for free. You're going to have to buy the other 20. So keep that in mind. Usually there's a 7-day login event. On a 7-day, they give you 10 tokens. But if you want to get it right away, you can buy Offer for Agents #1. There's also a couple different packs they're releasing today, so we'll take a look at them. Anyways, moving on. Magic is getting a new leadership. Before it was 13% critical rate. Now it's 40% all attack for your mutants. That's pretty decent. Moving on, we have our 4-star passive, which is being changed. It's actually really good. Arguably one of the best 4-star passives in the game. 25% ignore dodge. We have all attack, defense, speed, critical rate. Before, this was on a cooldown. Now it's here all the time. Plus, she does extra damage, 40% extra damage to super villain characters. By the way, she's actually a superhero now, so keep that in mind. As opposed to with the Phoenix uniform, she was a super villain, so she's going back to being a superhero. Now, as for a tier 2 passive, the only thing they did here is they increased her basic defense by 5% from 15 to 20. Everything else is pretty much staying exactly the same. We have a counter attack with iframe ignorance, so maybe she has a little bit of value in PvP. We have paralysis here. We have recovery, 25% chance to penetrate pretty much everything. She has immunity and a 50% attack proc. We have sneer, barrier, 16 hit barrier, interesting. We have fracture, resistance down by 30%, defense down up to 40%. We have paralysis, invincibility. Okay, so decent kit. We'll have to see if she has any PvP value. The thing is, with her not being a support character, this might be a easy uniform to skip over, because unless she's offering some insane value in PvP, like being able to one-shot tier 4 characters, I don't see her being relevant for more than like maybe 5 months, if that. Like realistically, for some people she might not be relevant after she gets this whole tier 3 and you play with her for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Anyways, tier 3 looks pretty cool. 70% chance to penetrate, debuff removal, 50% attack. It's cool. Magneto is tier 4. That's what I'm curious to see what's going on here. So it has sneer. It increases all basic attack by 90%. So kind of like Moon Knight. And then it does damage similar to Blue Dragon. However, the percentages don't look as good as Blue Dragon's with the 1000%. So we'll see how this plays out for Magneto. I don't want to like roast it yet, but it doesn't look nearly as spicy as Jean Grey's does. But obviously Jean Grey's a tier 2 native, so it's a different animal altogether. Let's see Magneto's artifact. Ignore dodge. Okay, so they took ignore dodge out of his kit and put it on his artifact, but at the very least it's ignore dodge plus extra damage to boss types. They really want to double down on his utility for ABX and ABL, so they put an extra damage here similar to Namor's. Okay, let's see, we have immunity to guard break. Oh, she has the undead artifact, so they really want Magic to be a PvP character. Here's the thing, this artifact might be relevant when she gets tier 4. At tier 3 it might be decent, but I doubt she's gonna have the kind of damage to like one tap Jean Grey. But eventually, if she does get tier 4 sometime soon, or whenever she does get tier 4, this artifact might make her a big part of the PvP meta. But I think for now, I highly doubt you need to go for it. We'll see. Okay, so they did some improvements and changes here regarding the burn effect not being displayed. Additionally, we have the holiday update celebration event. Magneto looking like a Giga Chad. Let's see what's going on here. So we have the uniforms that are coming back, and realistically, the only ones that you want to look at from the older ones is White Fox and Black Cat. Okay, these two lovely ladies. You want to skip over everything else because they're no longer relevant. Literally none of the crystal uniforms are worth it unless you're only buying them for optionals. And from the ones that cost tokens, only these two if you're not going to get Magic. And I don't think Magic is going to have long-term value until she gets tier 4, but we don't know when that tier 4 is coming. So if they drop the tier 4, I don't know, 6 months from now, and then she might be a big part of the meta with her artifact, but that's a big if considering how long it's taken for her to just get tier 3. To be honest though, I really think that Marvel should start putting these older uniforms that were they sold initially for tokens for crystals, bro. Like realistically, Gwenpool Holiday Party, this uniform is so old and so bad, it should not be still being sold for cash, bro. That's just me personally. There's also going to be a discount for all of the uniforms, 40% off. It's going to be a growth mission for Magneto and Magic, obviously. There's going to be an energy spending event. They're going to give out some rank 1 Black Antimatter. There's going to be a discount to unequip artifact. I pretty much never use that. Oh wow, there's going to be a faction war. It's been a while since we got one of those. What are they going to be giving away? Okay, so there's going to be giving away regular biometrics. Yeah, it's free stuff, so I can't really complain. We have the holiday event store that's going to be giving away tokens that you can use to gamble. It's pretty much the only thing you can do with it. You have a chance of getting CTPs and other rank up materials. They're going to be giving away some free Essence of Dimension and Titan component pack. There's going to be the login event that's going to give out 10 holiday tokens. And then besides that, all of the packs in the shop are going to be giving out event tokens that you can use in the token shop. We'll take a look at some of the rewards that you can pick up from the event shop in a second. but just keep in mind that anything you buy after the update goes live will have these tokens in here that you can use to pick up the uniform for Magic or use on other things. So when it comes to the Magic holiday token shop, these are the rewards that you're going to have access to. So we have Magic's uniform, Black Cat, White Fox, Gwenpool, and then you have the holiday token random chest, which gives you access to a lot of the premium items in the game, starting with 5-star artifacts. We have 4-star artifacts, CTPs, premium cards, books of Ashanti, Odin's blessings, you name it. Pretty much everything is in here with the exception of, I guess, reforged CTPs and 6-star artifacts. The last thing I want to touch on is if you were a big old blubbery whale and you like to gamble for artifacts, now is the best time to gamble because they're putting the 5 and 6-star artifacts in the shop. So when you pull for 10, you know how you usually can only get up to a maximum of a 4-star? Well, Christmas is here. If you don't celebrate Christmas, the holiday season is here. And as you can see, you can get access to the 5 and 6-star artifacts as well. So if you have a bunch of crystals that you want to burn, now is the time to burn them. Unfortunately for me, I went after Jean Grey's artifact and I spent like 10k. Should have waited, but oh well, it is what it is. I might do a couple pulls and see if I can get any 6 stars, but with my luck I'll get duplicates of 6 stars I already have, even though I have so few 6 stars. But yeah, as you can see, you have a chance of getting 5 and 6-star artifacts now. Anyways guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about this new uniform for Magneto specifically? Because that's the one that I'm thinking majority of people are gonna go for, just because it costs crystals and we are in desperate need of a blast male super villain.